The scandal over the Latin Mass is growing, and each day, new pieces are added that make it more disturbing. For Catholics around the world, the last few months have felt confusing and painful, with every new event creating more questions than answers. The Vatican, the very heart of the Catholic Church, is covered in silence while rumors, leaks, and acts that look like censorship are shaking the faithful. It is hard not to wonder what is truly happening behind those ancient walls. Many now ask if something serious is being hidden and if the voices of tradition are being silenced. That started quietly, with a rule from the Vatican called Traditionis Cust. This motu proprio, a type of special letter from the Pope, set strict new limits on the celebration of the Latin, or Tridentine Mass. For decades, this form of worship had been a source of comfort and identity for many Catholics. Its language, music, and rituals connected generations across centuries. But now, those who loved the Old Mass were told they could not have it so freely. The explanation was that many bishops around the world saw the Old Mass as a cause of division in the Church. This was the story the Vatican told, and it was repeated in speeches and official documents. But not long after, the official story began to crack. A journalist named Diane Montano published a secret document from the Vatican itself. She said she received it from someone inside who wished to remain anonymous. This document showed something very different from what the Vatican had been saying. According to the leaked paper, most bishops were not asking for the Latin Mass to be banned. Instead, they thought it was valuable and that the solution made by Pope Benedict XVI, who let both old and new forms of the Mass live side by side, was wise and fair. The survey did not show a crisis. It did not show the bishops wanted to suppress the Old Mass. Suddenly, the world saw a huge gap between what was really happening and what the Vatican claimed. This revelation embarrassed Vatican leaders deeply. They were questioned at a press conference about the document. The Vatican's spokesman, Matteo Bruni, looked clearly uncomfortable as journalists pushed for details. He said the leaked documents were only partial and incomplete, but he could not explain what was wrong with them. He did not say which part was false or why the document gave a different view than the official line. His answer only created more questions and a sense that the truth was being hidden. Around the same time, another twist made things even more complicated. A book was announced, called The Liturgy is Not a Spectacle. This book, put on pre-sale by the publisher Feed e Cultura, promised to include the leaked documents and even more new material that had never been published before. It claimed to show that the traditional Latin Mass was not a problem for most bishops, and that the story had been covered up. The timing of the book's announcement was suspicious. It came out just as the scandal about the Mass was growing, which made many people wonder if someone was trying to block the truth from spreading. Was it a coincidence, or was there a larger effort to silence anyone who defended the Old Mass? This doubt grew even bigger when a shocking event happened only days later. On July 14th, a famous Italian blog called Messa in Latino, known for its strong support of the Tridentine Mass, was suddenly deleted from Google. This site had been active since 2007 and was loved by many Catholics searching for news, opinion, and discussion about the old liturgy. In June, it had more than 1 million visitors, a sign that interest in the Latin Mass was strong and even growing. The blog did not only offer news, it also published reflections, comments, and honest criticism of the new policies that limited the Old Mass, always in the name of preserving Catholic tradition. At the same time, the blog was advertising the new book The Liturgy is Not a Show, making the timing of its removal even more strange. Suddenly it was gone. No one received a warning or an explanation. Anyone trying to visit the site saw only a cold message: the blog has been deleted, this address is unavailable. It did not matter where you lived, the restriction applied everywhere. The reaction from Catholics was quick. Other blogs and publications who support traditions such as Informat Catholic, Correspondent Romana, and Stylum Cure published strong messages of solidarity, calling the closure unfair and shocking. The blog's director, Luigi Castellini, went on social media and said he would start legal action against Google to get the site back and find out what really happened. Still, the silence was heavy. No reason was given. The site was simply erased. The disappearance of Messa in Latino looked to many like another move in a growing plan to silence those who spoke up for tradition. Was it just a technical problem? Was it because of something the blog posted, or was it connected to the controversy about the Latin Mass in the upcoming book? No one could say for sure, but the timing felt far from random. It was as if there was an invisible thread connecting all these events: restrictions, leaks, nervous answers, sudden website disappearances, and promises of new information that some seemed desperate to block. Again, the Vatican stayed silent. After the uncomfortable press conference, no more details were offered. When journalists asked for proof about what was wrong with the leaked document, they got no answer. When people asked which other documents, besides the ones leaked, really pushed the Vatican to limit the Latin Mass, there was only a repetition of the same official words. The spokesman said that the views of the bishops and the congregation, for the doctrine of the faith, were taken into account, but nothing more was revealed. The main claims in the leaked papers were never actually refuted or corrected. This lack of clear answers was a source of pain for many Catholics. They felt they were not just facing rules or limits, but something deeper: refusal by church leaders to speak the truth openly. The story was no longer just about the Mass, it became about trust, honesty, and whether the church would listen to its people or just act like a distant government. Each act of silence or confusion made the wound deeper for those who loved the Latin Mass and believed tradition matters. Through all of this, many important churchmen did not stay quiet. Cardinals like Raymond Burke, Gerhard Müller, and Athanasius Schneider had already spoken up, asking the Pope to protect the Latin Mass and to listen to the faithful who were hurting. Their warnings now sounded stronger than ever. They reminded everyone that a good shepherd does not silence his flock or hide behind vague words. He listens and answers, especially when his people are in pain. In the past weeks, their appeal felt more urgent and real. Ordinary Catholics found hope in their courage. Yet as these voices grew, the Vatican's silence seemed even more strange. Pope Leo XIV himself left Rome and went to Castel Gandolfo, the peaceful summer home of popes through the years. Some saw this as a chance for rest and reflection. But for many, it looked like another sign that their questions would not be answered. The feeling grew that the leaders of the church were acting less like shepherds and more like managers of an office. Every step, the sudden rules, the secret papers, the fumbled press conference, the erased blog looked more like politics than faith. It was hard not to see a pattern. One event happened, then another, all in a short time. With each twist, it seemed less likely that all of this was just by chance. Instead, it looked like someone or something wanted to control the story, manage the faithful, and stop the spread of any information that could threaten the official line. Even as people called for more honesty, what they got was more silence and confusion. The Latin Mass is more than just a set of words and rituals. For countless Catholics, it is a link to their history, their ancestors, and their deepest beliefs. Even people who prefer the new form of the Mass often respect the beauty and mystery of the old liturgy. It has survived wars, revolutions, and changes in society. Its music, its language, its sense of the sacred have shaped the faith of generations. Now, all that seems at risk. The battle over the Latin Mass has become a symbol for something much bigger. It is a test of honesty in the Church. It is a measure of how much the Church listens to its people. And it is a question about whether tradition will be respected or simply erased in the name of change. Those who love the old Mass are not asking for privilege. They are asking for respect, for honesty, and for the right to worship God in a way that has shaped the Church for centuries. Every day, the silence from the Vatican grows longer. The pain and confusion among the faithful grow too. People ask, is there something to hide? Why is it so hard to get a clear answer? Are the faithful being managed or truly cared for? In this new climate, even simple acts like reading a blog or attending Mass in Latin can feel risky or uncertain. But those who care about tradition are not giving up. The community that loves the Latin Mass continues to gather, pray, and speak up. Even when blogs are deleted or books are delayed, their voices do not fall silent. Their sense of injustice only makes them more determined to stand together. They meet in homes, in parish halls, in cathedrals, and on social media, supporting one another and hoping for the day when their questions will be answered. They pray for unity, not a fake peace that hides problems, but a real unity that respects every part of the Church, old and new. The need for honesty has never been greater. As the scandal grows, it becomes clear that only the truth can heal the Church.